From pit stop disasters
to incomprehensible strategy calls.
Box now, box. Stay out.
It seems like the Prancing Horse is racing towards a new low every season. And don't get me wrong, I like Ferrari just as much as the next guy, but they really need to get their together. And to make it a bit more fun, let's take them one level at a time, starting with the least stupid, Brazil 2014. That year, Ferrari had a car that had earned its reputation, for all the wrong reasons. Have you seen a machine so special it could understeer and oversteer at the same time? Say hello to the Ferrari F14T, a car named by the fans themselves. And after watching it in action, I can't help but wonder, did they also build it? Just look at this. See what I mean now? So, what went wrong? The team struggled with the new regulations. Everyone was jumping on the hybrid engine train, and while Mercedes became unstoppable, Ferrari were just bad, but like really bad. However, they still had one secret weapon left. Two-time world champion, master of the impossible, and wizard of flying laps. And once again, he was about to pull off the impossible this Q1. But just as he got ready, something was missing. That something? Power. Yep, you heard that right. Ferrari sent him out with the battery not even charged. Even Maldonado got scared when he realized how slow the Spaniard was. Alonso's reaction? Just a big... Why I can't start the qualifying with a low battery? How is possible? But hold on, I'm just getting started. Next up, we're in 2022 at Zandvoort, a track famous for its sweeping turns and, of course, that ridiculously narrow pit lane. This time, it was Carlos Sainz who got caught in the crossfire. Lap 15, Sainz comes in for what should have been a routine stop, except for one minor detail. Ferrari forgot a tyre.
Soft to medium, it's slow, it's really slow.
Horrible. Sainz is still in the pits, Will.
Still there, finally getting the tyre on.
Oh my god.
Yep, in a sport where everything revolves around four wheels, they somehow missed one. Team principal Mattia Binotto called it a last-minute decision.
Certainly we made a big mess with the first pit stop of Carlos, too late call, mechanics were not ready, and which cost him quite a lot of positions.
Honestly, it seemed like they were just trying to outdo Red Bull's legendary pit stop disaster with Daniel Ricciardo.
Ricciardo is sat there waiting. Did he make the call? Did the team make the call? Whoever made the call, the tyres weren't ready. Super soft tyres going on.
But it didn't stop there. They also left a tyre gun out, and Checo Perez ended up running it over.
There's Perez.
Perez has hit the gun.
Hit the wheel gun at the Ferrari.
You couldn't script this if you tried. After that 12.7 second stop, this dropped from third place all the way down to 11th. But Carlos wasn't going to let Ferrari's mistake define his race. By lap 58, he had fought his way back up to 5th.
Sainz, wow, made the move on Esteban Ocon.
And then this happened.
George was straight on the radio saying, I would like the soft tyre. I'm losing tyre 10. I think he was worried about that warm-up that you were rightly talking about. Look at that!
In his final stop, the team executed an unsafe release, earning him a 5-second time penalty, and he fell back down to 8th. It was one disaster after another. And trust me, this is light work for Ferrari. Let's switch to Leclerc now. Same year. It's pretty safe to say there are only two guarantees in life. One, Ferrari will mess things up. And two, one of those times will definitely be in Brazil. You got Charles Leclerc locked in for another qualifying session. Q1, no problem. Q2, smooth sailing. But right as Q3 began, the radar showed rain incoming. So, like any smart team, the Scuderia rushed to get their drivers out before the rain hit. But of course, they couldn't resist adding the temptation of chaos.
Am I the only car on Inters?
Yes, we believe you are the only one on Inters.
In a move that defies logic, the team chose to send Leclerc out on Inters. And halfway through, he realized just how bad that decision was.
Box now, box.
Nice one. Let me push now.
Regardless, the clock was ticking and the rain was coming. So, just to try and secure a time, finish a lap and... Wait, why on earth is that Ferrari pitting? Charles, you need to deliver a lap ASAP. Do you really think there's going to be enough time to...
We've got George Russell out. Yellow flag, so no faster times will be set for the moment.
Never mind. The crash brought out a red flag, locking Leclerc in P10.
Did everybody complete a lap on sticks?
Yes, they did.
Nice, beautiful. beautiful.
In Maranello, everyone was in shock. Most of the factory, dead silent. But in one small corner...
What position are we?
You're P1, mate.
You're kidding.
I'm not kidding.
What a fairy tale has absolutely happened for him here today. And Kevin Magnussen will be on pole position for the sprint race.
Absolute mayhem. Magnussen had clinched Haas's first ever pole, and it was pure madness. But neither the world nor the universe could have prepared for what was coming next. Team orders are nothing new in Formula One. They've been used for decades to make sure to keep the first driver in the spotlight and the second driver, well, in the first driver's shadow. But if there's one to be remembered, it's this one. In 2002, Ferrari had the best machinery, the best complex, the best drivers, and the best minds behind it all. This reflected in pure domination. Their first driver, Schumacher, was crushing the championship. But this weekend, it wasn't him in the lead. It was Rubens Barrichello. He outqualified Schumi, led the whole race, and was just a few corners away from a well-deserved victory. But then, the Scuderia would step in with a decision that would change everything.
I'm sure it doesn't mean anything, James, but I've just seen Jean Todt pass a little note across the pit wall to Ross Brawn.
Let Michael pass for the championship to Mercedes.
And just like that, Rubinho was forced to slow down right before the finish line.
He's through. He's not going to let Michael through, is he? No, they're going to... Yes, he is! I do not believe it!
The crowd went crazy, booing, shouting, no one could believe it. The truth is, Schumi felt so bad that he tried to fix the situation by doing this.
And the crowd is whistling and booing underneath us. They don't like it at all. And I have to say, I don't blame them.
But the damage was already done. The team said they did it to secure the German's championship lead, but he was already way ahead in the points.
Rubens had won that race, hadn't he?
Oh yes, Rubens won the race today, but in the interest of Ferrari and the Drivers' Championship, we've made the decision.
Although team orders weren't illegal back then, this moment was so controversial that the FIA stepped in and banned them forever. Or so we thought. You ever noticed how Fernando Alonso is always at the center of the most iconic team radios? It's like the guy has a sixth sense for drama.
Do you think we should do a new set of inters or wets? New inters or wets?
I think we should go to the garage.
But this time, it's not his radio we're talking about. Here's the deal. Felipe Massa is leading the race. Everything's going well, right? He's ahead, probably thinking this one's in the bag. Until, surprise, surprise, Ferrari steps in and everything changes. So by lap 48, we got one of the most infamous radio messages in F1 history. Felipe, hit that subscribe button. I'm joking. It was worse.
Fernando is faster than you. Can you confirm you understood that message?
It was deja vu. Another Brazilian, another heartbreak. I mean, they couldn't have made it more obvious, could they? Poor Massa had no choice but to move over and let the Spaniard through.
Alonso's race engineer, and guess what happened? There is a crucial move in the championship.
He followed orders, but you could feel the awkwardness hanging in the air. And the press conference...
Did you feel that you weren't allowed to win that race today?
No, the only thing I feel is that we're working for the team, and we're doing a very good job, for the team, and that's the most important thing.
Of course, the FIA investigated the matter as team orders weren't allowed anymore. Their conclusion, a $100,000 fine for the team. But the legislation of the team orders, once again, starting in 2011. Interesting, to say the least. But sure, my video on the biggest corruption scandal was baseless and biased. So, here we are, the final race of this season in Yas Marina, and the stakes couldn't be higher. 4 drivers, Alonso, Webber, Vettel, and Hamilton, all in the hunt for the championship. Alonso was the favourite, leading the standings with 246 points. The Tifosi knew this was a golden opportunity to clinch another world title. All Ferrari had to do was keep their cool, but that's never been their strong suit. Vettel starts from pole, Hamilton is second, Alonso lines up third, with Webber right behind him. The goal was simple. The Spaniard just needed to finish 4th or higher to secure the title. Race start wasn't exactly clean.
Right, it's been the longest season, the closest season. We have 4 contenders. Who will be champion today? As we leave the grid in Abu Dhabi, Hamilton goes close.
but Vettel still leads. Button is into third, Alonso is fourth, and Webber is fifth behind him.
Starting they make contact. Michael Schumacher round. Will he?
Oh, the big smash there. It's Liuzzi's got.
The collision between Schumacher and Liuzzi brought out the safety car, setting off a chain reaction that would change the course of the race without anyone realizing it. Some drivers, including Vitaly Petrov, saw an early opportunity and pitted for hard tires, gambling on a one-stop strategy to make it to the end of the race. Seemed like a minor move at the time, but I'll get back to this. By lap 12, Red Bull pulled the trigger and pitted Webber after reporting issues with his rear tires. When he rejoined the track, he was stuck behind Jamie Alguersuari, losing quite a bit of time in the process. Ferrari saw a chance to cover him, so they called in Massa, hoping to get him out in front of the Australian, but the plan backfired.
By my reckoning, he should be just behind Mark Webber. There's about a 9-second gap between Webber and Kovalainen.
Now, Ferrari was left with two options: pit Alonso to cover Webber, or keep him out and gamble on the softs holding up. Here's the thing, only Webber had complained about tyre degradation, and none of the other front runners were struggling. But despite this, the team panicked and pitted Alonso on lap 15.
I think they'll be in on the next lap, surely. Because if you look at the sector times of all those that have got fresh tyres.
The goal was clear, to stay ahead of Webber. They actually managed that.
Here comes Alonso out of that pit lane, and there is Mark Webber.
But didn't consider a bigger issue: traffic. Basically, the Spaniard cleared Webber but was now stuck behind Petrov, who was a fucking rocket on the straights. And the Prancing Horse simply didn't have the speed to get close enough for a move. Lap after lap, Alonso pushed, desperate to get by, but Petrov wasn't budging.
And here comes Alonso going through the inside of Petrov, but he's careful not to know he's almost going off the track. He has gone off the track. He cannot gain position though.
Ferrari had made the critical error of focusing on Webber, completely overlooking Vettel, who, ironically, wasn't even considered a real threat. In the end, Alonso crossed the line in 7th, still stuck behind Petrov. The result?
Sebastian Vettel, you are the world champion!
Well, they got the constructors in Brazil, and now Sebastian Vettel wins in Abu Dhabi to be drivers' champion for 2010.
So we've seen some bad pit stops, questionable team orders, but this one next, what can I even say? Silverstone 2022, a fresh wound for Ferrari fans, but boy, is it a good story. Carlos Sainz started on pole with Leclerc right behind him. The Ragazzi were in position for a huge result, which, of course, means they found a way to mess it up. It all started when Esteban Ocon's car broke down.
Well, he has got problems, Esteban Ocon.
I have a problem, guys. I can't take it to the corners.
Plenty of... No, he's going to stop. He's going to stop there.
That's a safety car.
That's got to be a safety car.
Here's what happened. While Sainz pitted for fresh softs, Ferrari, for whatever reason, left Leclerc out on old hard tyres. I think you can guess how that went. Realising their mistake, Ferrari asked El Matador to slow down and help the Monegasque to close the gap.
The instruction is to give 10 car lengths to chance and some breathing space. So Sainz has been told that the priority is to defend from Hamilton.
Leaving us with this iconic moment.
But guys, I'm under pressure from Hamilton. Please don't ask these things. Please. Let's say stop inventing.
After that, their races took different paths. Sainz ignored the order, overtook Leclerc.
He's got the line then.
Oh, and off the track goes Charles Leclerc as Carlos Sainz retakes the lead.
And went on to win his first ever F1 race.
For the first time in Formula One, Carlos Sainz is victorious.
While Leclerc's race fell apart, with his older tyres being no match for the oncoming challengers.
The track comes the chicane. Off goes Leclerc. Through goes Hamilton. Unbelievable stuff!
If you thought that was a big fall-off, just wait until you see this. Ladies and gentlemen, turn on the lights, fasten your seatbelts. It's 2008 and the stage is set for F1's first ever night race, here in Singapore. Home of the Marina Bay Sands, the Singapore Sling, and Godzilla. Funnily enough, looks faster than both Saubers. Our protagonist, Felipe Massa. Again, the Brazilian arrived in Singapore with 77 points, just one behind Hamilton, and with 4 races left, things were tight as ever. The margin for error? None. The pressure? Immense. But this is Ferrari we're talking about, and when the stakes are high, chaos always seems to be lurking around the corner. Now, this race wasn't just any race, it was chaos right from the start.
Go! Massa on the left, Hamilton on the right. Watch out for Raikkonen attacking Hamilton. He goes to the inside of Hamilton.
On lap 12, Renault called Alonso into the pits. Early, you might think, But just one lap later, the plot took a twist.
In daylight, necessarily. Oh, big crash! And that is likely, I would have thought.
At the time, the crash seemed a bit curious, to say the least. Long story short, it later emerged as a deliberate act, a conspiracy that ended up changing Formula One forever. And of course, you know who was behind it. Highly recommend you watch that one if you haven't already, but for now, let's get back to the Scuderia. Due to the accident, Ferrari opted to box Massa. It was critical to get it right, and I hate to say it, but it was, until it wasn't.
So, well, put more fuel in then.
Oh no! That's a big mistake. Massa's gone. Not for the first time. Ferrari's lighting system and their release. He's taken the hose with him as well, I think.
See, that race saw Ferrari unveil a brand new traffic light system instead of the traditional lollipop. And surprise, surprise, it backfired in spectacular fashion. I mean, how does that even happen? You'd think Ferrari would have done, I don't know, some practice with their shiny new toy before the race. Instead, total chaos. The pit crew rushed after him, desperately trying to fix the mess. But by the time they got the hose off, the damage had been done.
Now, the fast filler.
The time is going, off we go.
Massa went from leading the carnival to back of the pack in a blink of an eye. Absolute meltdown. And the worst part, that one mistake changed everything. At Interlagos, even though Felipe drove an amazing race and won,
and we wait now to find out who will be the world champion of 2008.
Hamilton ended up snatching the championship by just a single point.
Oh my goodness me! Hamilton's back in position again. 100,000 local hearts sink in the grandstands. It's handed the place back to Hamilton. He comes through, and if I'm absolutely right, I'm sure that he is going to claim 5th place,
leaving Massa heartbroken on his own turf. So yeah, it's tough not to imagine the what if. Pretty sure Massa would have won the title. The truth is, this event was so traumatic for him that in 2023, he filed a lawsuit to wipe the race from the records because of the scandal, trying to win back in court what slipped through his fingers on track. But anyway, what can be more painful than losing a championship because of a scandal? How about losing a race in front of your home crowd? Oh Lord, let me take a breath here. Okay, let's go. Monaco, a name that echoes through the halls of Formula One like no other. A track that rewards the brave, punishes the careless, and is relentless with the unlucky. And no one knows that better than Charles Leclerc.
No, the gearbox goes.
Il Predestinato, racing on the streets he grew up in with the weight of an entire nation on his shoulders. The dream? Simple, to win. Aiming to become the first Ferrari driver to do so since Sebastian Vettel in 2017.
Sebastian Vettel wins the Monaco Grand Prix. He's back on top of the podium in the Principality.
But the reality? Well, let's just say faith has always had other plans for Charles.
They're actually going to go for it here, and oh, he can't stop! And he has gone straight on into Brendan Hartley. You could see that was coming. For it again, this time he tangles with the Renault. Oh dear, and he's now shredding the tyre to pieces and possibly causing a lot of damage, Charles Leclerc.
Year after year, victory slipped through his fingers. All signs pointed to the curse finally being broken. On Saturday, Leclerc had done what he does best.
This year, it's Sergio Perez who's hit the barriers, and Charles Leclerc has grabbed pole. I dare say he would have grabbed pole anyway.
In very strange circumstances, shall I say. But hey, the guy did his job. And then came race day. However, it looked like Thor wanted to join in on the action too, as rain began to pour over the circuit. By lap 18, conditions got tricky. Drivers were swapping wets for intermediates, Leclerc included. And although Perez's undercut wasn't ideal, the real disaster was just around the corner. 3 laps later, Sainz comes in. And this exact moment was when Ferrari'd.
Box now, box for hard. Stay out. Tire position 5.
The guy had already lost the lead to the Mexican, but now he'd lose it to his teammate and his rival for the championship, Max Verstappen.
What I wanted to see was happening at turn 1, and it's Max Verstappen ahead of Charles Leclerc.
In the end, a 4th place finish that felt like 21st, behind Mazepin.
And P4.
No words.
And just like that, what was meant to be a fairy tale home victory turned into another heartbreak. And before you click off, let me know what you thought of this video. If you've been watching for a while now, you know I usually give less personal comments, but I don't know, I'm starting to feel a bit more comfortable. I hope you guys like it, so let me know. And no, Ferrari fans, I don't hate you. It's just banter. Better to laugh about it than cry, no? Take Taki Inoi for example. Absolutely no skills, yet still pretty likable. You'll see what I mean. And as always, thank you for watching.